With nothing better to do, I thought I'd do a weekend update. So the first one is there's still no glasshouse, which is a real shame because our boy has just tested COVID positive and we've all got to hang out at home for a bit, and it would have been a convenient time to get that installed. As you can see, I still haven't done anything with the pumpkin rubble. I think I'll just leave that there to break down a little bit more, or dry out a little bit more, and then I'll move it into my new gardens. The veggie garden has got the layer of compost in. And as you can see, I've got nets on. That's primarily because I love my cats, but they do tend to treat this as a dirt box given half an opportunity. And so that's there to discourage them. And that pile of pumpkins there just because I didn't quite have enough net. And here you can see my spring onions, which I planted 2 years ago. They were just the ends off of some bits that I had at the supermarket. And they've just done wonderfully, really. I've had quite a lot of food, quite a lot of things off of them. We tend to put them in salads. And just here you can see lettuce, and here's another one here. I let them go to seed, and I tend to get quite a lot of wild lettuce. That is also partly the reason why I've got all this netting here, is it stops the cats digging them up, because quite often around this time of year I'll get like a little flush of baby lettuces, and I want to transplant them into my hopeful pending glasshouse. And then just here I planted some radishes, and I think maybe I've got 3, but I can see one here. It's got holes in it already. There's certainly been more white butterfly this year than I've ever seen before. All the lavenders got trimmed sort of in about February so that I could make some lavender oil. I am getting the odd little one just popping back up now, which is a nice little bit of colour. I picked my last blackberry off of this last week. I've been getting, I don't know, a handful every couple of days off of it for a few months, and I've been freezing them since there's not really been enough to do at the same time. I guess sometime in the next week or so as I'll trim off all this deadness. Raspberry stopped quite a wee while ago, and I have already trimmed that. I know you're not supposed to do that as early as I did. I think I did it in January, but it's just easier to see. I've had quite a few years where I've cut off the wrong growth. Strawberries are still producing. I see that there's a couple there that I've missed. Everything is behind a net at the moment because I'm trying to get the grapes to ripen, and as you can see there's quite a lot in there, and I'm trying to discourage the birds. Other things, the winter rose has just got a wee flower in it. I'm not sure what's happened here. Ooh, something's been in here. Well, having noticed what's being knocked over, I'm going to assume that is possibly this person that did that. A little pittosporums, I got given a whole heap of those. As you can see, they'll stay out over winter. The little baby lemon and the larger one here were supposed to be both going to our batch over winter, but I think I might send the big one and keep the little one here to go in the glasshouse. Stevia is well not truly due for a trim, and I'll dry that and I use it for baking and stuff over instead of sugar. And then here we have the oregano, which needs plucking and drying. This is a self-sown hollyhock and some lavenders down there. They're also going to the batch. There's an ivy and something else. If anybody knows what that is, could you advise me? I like it, it's cute, but I'm not sure what it is. That's savoury. It's about ready to be pulled out, repotted and wintered off. And then the mint, I've taken one big cut off of that and froze it, and I'll try and get a second one. Nothing in here is particularly edible. As you can see, there's some grapes out here that we're leaving out for the birds, which they're having a bit of a feed of, but that section has all been closed off from them. This is a Chardonnay grapevine. My husband used to work on a vineyard and they had a whole bunch of these coming that they didn't want, and I've just seen that these ones are bursting, so it's probably just about time to pick those. But there is a few little red ones in there. I think there was one Pinot Noir. I didn't quite get the nets up in time, and so the birds did get a few of them, but I think we'll do better this year than we have in the past. Rosemary randomly flowering again. I don't think I've actually seen it do that in the past, and you do need to give that a big trim, but I'm trying to hold off because I actually want to make some rosemary oil and I need quite a lot of it, so I'm waiting for all the other plants to need a trim as well. Self-sown pumpkin. There's a larger one there and there's a smaller one there. I do also tend to pull off the little itty bitty ones. They're quite nice roasted with balsamic vinegar and a bit of rosemary. Oh look, but I'll probably leave it alone because look, there's even a wee bee. Probably got left out overnight, it's a bit cool, so we'll let him have a chill out. The other side of the self-sown pumpkin, and this is what I was talking about, little baby ones. So this is quite tiny, but when they're this size, they are beautiful roasted. Oh, there's another little one there, and teeny tiny little one there. Apparently you can eat the flowers. I did try steaming them, I didn't like it, so I don't know, maybe there's a better recipe. My red peach had in the past had a name that's now considered offensive. I have heard the suggestions are red peach, which I've just used, or blood peaches, which I'm quite keen on because it sounds nice and airy. This is my new garden project. I've actually got 2 more of these on order, but again, because we are technically in isolation, we're not allowed to go and collect them. So it was just a case of getting the metal cutter and cutting the bars off and then cutting this in half, and then I've just been layering it with some of the branches from the peach tree that have come down and some grass clippings. And then where I work there's a caterer, a bit of shredded paper, and I'm going to top them up with that over the winter, since I can't use these here in Central Otago anyway, being it's too cold to grow plants over the winter outside. And hopefully by spring they will have composted down and be ready for planting. This is a transplanted rhubarb. It used to grow in by our shed, but we decided to bring it over here. Oh yeah, I can see there's a little bit of life just there, and that bit's burst out. I'll probably put the sprinkler on. We're using this at the moment, but we're thinking of getting one of those, well, we call them foot-foots. I don't know what you call them. It goes and I'll put that on a stick. Little walnut has had better years. Hoping it'll do better this year. And then another type of garden that I'm trialling, not sure how well that's going to go. These are just the little bits that came off of the tanks. I'm using them to brace the sides. And then this is some offcuts from a friend's retaining wall, and I thought I might use them to build another raised garden along here. Given that it's already got quite a high fence on it, I thought it might be quite good for beans. Yeah, so generally not a lot going on. It's another overcast day, but I hear the sun is on its way. Hopefully we'll all be out of this isolation soon, and I can get on with building my gardens, and that the glasshouse comes.